So what does a basketball and the needle for an air pump have to do with God? Well, for me, each one of these reminds me that God answers prayer and he's in the details. See, God does answer prayer and he's in the small things, the very little things. Over the season, we've been talking about being in pursuit of God through praying and fasting and then experiencing him in this world. Well, this week, I was reminded that God is in the details. I had a meeting talking about some things that we're going to be launching in January. A couple new initiatives where we're excited to be helping people find new life in Christ here, near, and far. And so I went into a meeting discussing these things and how we can do this to the best of our ability here at New Life. And I'm in this meeting and we're talking about some of the details of what we'd like to see accomplished. And all of a sudden, one of the individuals in the meeting, their face goes white. I thought I'd said something to make them mad. In fact, they looked like they were on the verge of tears. And I'm like, oh man, what did I say? Well, what we'd been talking about was something this individual had been praying for. And they hadn't told anybody because they didn't think it was possible. There's no way that God would answer their prayer. And they'd been very specific, very detail-oriented. And then all of a sudden, here we were in this meeting talking about exactly what they'd been praying for. A prayer that only God and this individual knew. And it reminded me that God is in the details. And that's what basketball and an air pump needle remind me of. There was a time that my wife and I were in a financial situation where it was fairly tough. And there were some things going on and I was frustrated. And one day I had to pump up a basketball and I needed an air pump. Or I needed a needle for an air pump. And I was mad that I had to go buy this needle. Well, a 2-pack of needles costs a whole 99 cents. And yet I was frustrated. Why do I have to spend money? Why do I have to do this? God, where are you? Do you even care? So I get in my car, upset, drive to Dick's Sporting Goods, pull into the parking lot, get out, look down on the ground as I exit my car. And wouldn't you know, there's a 2-pack of needles for an air pump lying on the ground. It was all I could do to prevent myself from crying. In fact, in the moment, I'm pretty sure I did. And if you know me, you probably aren't surprised. And yet, right then, right there, I knew God was in the details. And since then, I've been reminded over and over and over again, God is in the details. He hears your prayers. So share your stories with me. How have you seen God in the details? And then be a part of what we're doing in January, talking about what God has for us in the new year as we're launching a couple new initiatives so we can continue to help people find new life in Christ here, near, and far. Have a Merry Christmas.